from the burning sun. She's wearing a million churches and arms waving in the air. And a seething prostitute said she once had a kill. And all the little children that dance in the grass. Inside the nation, that would be the last. There ain't gonna be no kings, you won't wanna sit and sail. When the heroes run like rats from the ship. Woke up this morning and I went. For the sight of your eyes and a kiss. Don't know how you feel with the moon falling down. I'd like to spend the rest of my life in your room. Ain't your pumpkin pie? It's all the way outside. You got some in your eye. Better go across the room. Smile at me, ignore all my woes. And a bathroom stall. No other place other more. Talk about romance movie. And the ones that I might love. I lied about all the world that I told your friend. You're still on my mind. That train never left. And everything I needed is gonna go away. And everything I wanted will never stay. It's like a Halloween costume. It cuts me down. Every good thing must come to an end.
All right, we should be live here. If so, hey, welcome to NFGL Live. I'm Chris on NFGL Live, and we have another kind of game we're going to be doing today. That being Metal Dungeon on the original Xbox. Ever hear of it? Probably not. Wouldn't be surprised. Might double check, make sure we are. Oh yeah, we're good. We're solid. But yeah, so Metal Dungeon is a typically very panned, not great reviewed kind of game that comes from the Japanese developer Panther Software, and then I think it's XCat is the publisher. There's a couple games they published for the original Xbox. I have to look up what other games they've done. I want to say it's all kind of within that generation. It's all kind of budget titles. And today we're drinking some pear ginger green tea, which is delicious. But Metal Dungeon itself is a sci-fi horror-themed dungeon delve game with mechanics that have this very streamlined macro sort of control on the whole dungeon combat sort of deal. And what I mean by that is that you typically have a party of 4, you have a few classes to choose from to make up your party, and you go through randomly generated dungeons through various floors that have some rough goals, but the combat itself, you don't if I recall correctly from when I played this like 6 years ago, you actually don't have direct control on the actions of the characters. So you kind of arrange them in a party, you equip them. I think you can sub some skills with them, but then besides that, and you might be able to change some general AI behaviors with them, they kind of operate on their own. So that's what you get with Metal Dungeon. And as you can see from the cinematic and some of the text from before, they try to go for like some horror, body horror sort of stuff, along with this sci-fi RPG sort of theme aesthetic. It seems very fitting of the time, you know, kind of like with brute force, and obviously there's Halo with some stuff like this too, some of the Warhammer stuff, where it's all about or even like I would say Dino Crisis 3, there's this sort of trend to have this sci-fi horror, sci-fi magical mysticism sort of stuff all wrapped up in here. AKA, they have to have you going through some sort of metal corridor at some point with tight-fitting spacesuits doing various things. Alright, nothing that feels very new or modern now. To me, this looks very dated, obviously, but it seemed to be a trend at the time. So, out comes Metal Dungeon. Some of the reception from before talked about how the combat and gameplay were rather boring because of how streamlined it was and how basic it was. There were some positives with the themes and the aesthetics that kind of go with the game. Narrative-wise, I'm not sure what we're kind of in for. If I remember correctly, it's very light in narrative. You get some prompts on the floors you go through, what sort of novel obstacles or traps or objectives you might have, but on the whole, you're not going to get a very deep story, I don't think. And here we go. Metal Dungeon. We're going to go with a new game here because I can't remember what I did in my save. Again, that was like 6 years ago, so we're just going to restart. Just going to do that.
Science, technology, and magic coincide in the world of the
And as you can see, yeah, it feels very much like a mishmash of various themes come together, various tropes. Yeah. Complete with weapon monsters.
The leaders of the outnumbered forces of Yamal have been secretly planning the production of weapons.
And I think these are kind of the guys we're going to be rolling through as we go through the dungeons with these weapon monsters.
Whose powers are essential to the production of weapon monsters.
Capturing the gods of magic, group of sorcerers whose powers essential production of weapon monsters. So we have something that we're going to kind of chase down these hallways as well, in terms of what we're going after, that being the gods of magic. Here, control the complex.
Before they can react, the rampaging weapon monsters controlled
So these gods of magic are going to be probably the big bads at the end of the dungeon, I assume.
It's only a matter of time before the sorcerer is completely awakened. If these uncontrollable magic
So our ticking clock is to get down there before they completely awaken. I see.
The leaders cannot recall the regular army.
So yeah, spin of the typical call to action you see with many fantasy games in the world of this game.
Eliminate the gods of magic and recapture the research.
Pretty much. Now, when I had originally played this, this was something I would talk to my brother about quite a bit as I was going through it, but I don't think he ever really saw me play it. So to get the context of what this game is all about, I think you kind of have to see it and get an idea of what some of the shortcomings could be with it. So this is going to be my character here. We'll go a little bit of Doc. Yup. Male. Oh yeah, let's look at what the actual classes are. Let me pull up the manual. Okay, so for the manual here, this is going to tell us what classes we got. I'm assuming Broader is probably our meat shield, tanky sort of guy, while Defense is going to be more of DPS. Let's find out. Because there are a variety of types of weapons that go along with the classes and things like that. Typical RPG stuff, right? Let's see here. Broader is a general type class. You can use all equipment. So our generalist, which we could, but that doesn't sound super fun. We have the fencer, who is a warrior type. That'd be this guy here. Uses swords and hammers as weapons. Specialty can cause damage to all enemies at front with shockwave. And what it means by at front is there is a particular formation kind of mechanic to the game where you'll have enemies or you in a front row, and that'll be a back row. So when you're in the front row, you can attack with melee, but you're going to take probably the brunt of damage as opposed to be able to do ranged shots and take less damage from the back row. And I believe there are certain abilities and weapons that can target either the back row or the front row or columns, things like that. Let's see here. Then we have the Striker. Striker's hand-to-hand combat, can be equipped with knuckles, especially can kill an enemy instantly with deadly blow. Okay, so again, going very much into that glass cannon sort of thinking, front row stuff. We got our Analyzer. Its specialty is to retrieve data, and without a doubt, its ability with a gun is the best of any character. The specialty of the Analyzer is it can see enemies' HP with scanning. So you get a little bit of analytics with the enemies. Maybe see weaknesses. Obviously, HP is part of that. And then we have our Caster, which can be uses magic to attack or help out other party members. So attack magic or healing magic. Can be equipped with rods. Specialty can avoid enemy spells with spell resist, which I assume might be able to cast on other characters as well. So we definitely want a Caster in the party here. As for my character, I'm going to go with a Striker class for that. And whoop. Let's go to face and see what kind of faces we got. We got some variety of faces. If I were to choose one, I guess we'll go with the Widow's Peak here. What kind of gear we got? Some different colored gear. I can't really rotate my own. Boo. You know, nothing super, I would say striking, but nothing that really stands out with the equipment choices. We'll go with this, kind of that blue and black shape. So I can adjust my shape. Make either wider, skinnier, taller, or shorter. Oh yeah, we can go extreme, short, and pudgy there. Kind of got dwarf. Yeah, sure, why not? Sounds good. Yep, we'll go. Yeah, we'll add Doc to our party. Let's make our next character here. And by the way, if anyone's got any ideas or anything they want to see with a character, just let me know. Yeah. Let's go with a Fencer next. And we're gonna go with say Elspeth for a name. Yeah. That'll be a unique-ish name. Sure. We'll go with female. And we'll go with a Fencer. Boom. Face. Ooh, we got some special faces here. Let's go with... Sure, brunette, alien eyes. Perfect. Gear. Okay, we go kind of this like elvish theme sort of going on here, right? That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, I kind of got that inspiration there. Tall, skinny, sort of the woods and forests, green camo-y sort of. Yeah, sure. Sounds like at least something to inspire the look of the character. All right, so we got our Striker, we got our Fencer. I think we're going to need a Mage next. This will be Cage the Mage. Perfect. Face. Apparently, Peyton Manning sounds great. And we'll go with like the atypical sort of magey white gear look. Make it a little smaller, keep skinny. Sure. Welcome to the team, Peyton. Alright, next one up. Let's see here. Let's try... How about Sindel? That's probably not how you spell it, but sure. We'll go female again, mix it up, and you could be our analyzer. Guns, guns, guns. And let's see here. Perfect. And what would be a good... That's pretty cool looking. That's pretty cool looking. It's got some contrast of colors. It would make you a little smaller here because we don't want just a bunch of tall people in this party. Add a little width. Call it done. Yup. And one more. I really don't want to go with a general list. That sounds kind of boring to me. How about for the 5th character's name? How about Thrill House? Inspired by Simpsons. Let's see, we're going to go backspace. We'll do capital H on that. Thrill House. Actually, probably do it like this to make house fit. It's not going to be all exact spelling, but that's okay. Thrill House. Yeah, I'll make you male here. Let's go with another striker. And make you bald. Red. And make you big and tall. Sure. Perfect. That's the party. That's who we got. So we're thinking we'll go with a couple different Knuckle folks. I'm hoping to maybe optimize some of those instant kills a little bit by having a couple guys out there. Our back row is going to be pretty bare. We only have a couple characters back there. The Analyzer and the Caster. So we'll see how this works. And we're going to go ahead and just save it right now. To the hard disk. Yeah, overwrite. That's fine. We got it. Then we kind of exit. Got base camp with our trade booth. What's in the trade booth here? This is where we purchase and sell. Got it. We don't have money right now, so that doesn't matter. The lab. What do we do in the lab? Undertake area search and monster hunts. We can exchange elemental orbs for items. So obviously elemental orbs are things we find. These are our missions. Yeah. Search areas and hunt some monsters. Okay. So we get rewards depending on how well we do with either searching the areas or killing the monsters. We have the dock, which is where we have customize our characters. Okay, so we have some things that are chips that can modify our characters in some way. We can change their actual class. We can attach some kind of units or power them up in some way. Okay, and then recovery, I assume it's health, or if they died, bring them back. The trial hall. Use a core stone to test your abilities. Oh, right. So I believe you find core stones in the dungeons as you go through them, and they represent different kinds of encounters you can repeat and train on. Because as you can imagine, there are optimal ways of going through some of the encounters, and allows you to test out new configurations for your team. That's the entrance, and that's how you quit game. What happens if we just go straight to the entrance here? So, to unlock control room, we got terminal room switch. We got to hit 2 of those terminal room switches. Alright, let's just sort of jump in and see what happens.
Area 1. I don't know who's listening to this recording, but welcome.
Yay, welcome.
I'm really glad to have Daredevil
Oh, basics are good for me. I can use that.
This dungeon was constructed as an advanced weapon development facility. I said it was because it is now.
That's over on monsters, which have been created in here. Right.
I know you're eager to hear a little more useful information about the dungeon, correct? Since this is a recording for you newcomers,
Yes.
know that it is ruled by the GML government. The first person through an area of the dungeon must record a log of events.
Okay.
This priceless information could save your life. So listen.
Information's good, especially because it's been a while since I've played this. Changes every time. Very roguelike in that regard. But keeps the game fresh, right?
You also will see a bunch of guard machines. They're really annoying, so watch out for them.
Alright, so I have guard machines and monsters and such what to deal with.
You need to activate a control room door. There
Should be 2 terminal doors somewhere on each floor. You can open a control room door via interfaces.
Finding one of these is your first priority in this area.
Okay.
You'll encounter a very powerful monster inside the control room. Don't get too relaxed yet.
Okay.
All that's about
Well, that's about it. Lastly, I'll give you some advice. Don't die in here.
It'll add to your experience.
Okay, so that's good to know. If I still leave, I get to keep my experience.
That's it.
I wonder what happens if I party wipe, though. Oh, no. Because I was already facing the correct way. Alright, so right stick moves the map. Left stick, it's like tank controls. I might use a D-pad here if it's going to be tank controls. Because there's really no sense in using the joystick in that. If I'm just going to be having a 4-way movement anyway. Yo, what's up, the raid? The raid has started. What's up? Ooh, we got our first encounter. What's up, y'all? The battle scene was carried out automatically in real-time basis. Each character automatically deploys either preset or manually input actions. Oh lord, chat's getting flooded. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, there's a pupper there. Oh, there's a pupper in the chat. Press A to open battle menu in case you want to change the preset actions. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Metal Dungeon. You thought you were coming into a good thing. No. No, no. How about some automated battles? This is a Peyton Hillis Browns jersey. It fits University of Arkansas and the Cleveland Browns. Go Browns. Go Browns. Bam, striker. Just killing fools. Who's Peyton Hillis? How dare you? How dare you? Peyton Hillis is only... well, hang on. Hang on. Who's Peyton Hillis, you ask? I am. Peyton Hillis is only on the cover of Madden 12. Thank you very much. Right there. Just plowing through people that season. And then he got hurt. And then he went to Kansas City and did nothing. And that's who Peyton Hillis is. Yay, North American nerds. Thank you. Everyone got 8 XP. Hooray. See, this is a game that everyone forgets. And no one wanted to play again. So we're going to play it with sci-fi themes. So as we go through this, as you're seeing, we're having some preset actions already occur here with our characters. Because again, this is how combat resolves. More or less, everyone acts on their own. And yeah. But we can modify those actions with this menu. So we use directional pad, left stick, choose a character, move it vertically to change in order to change the command. So we get attack. Okay. So we can attack, we can guard, we can use an item, we can use a spell. And so as we go through this, lily characters have spells, particularly our magic user. Or in the case of, since I have my front row the way it is, I might have a lot of them defend. That way they can eat up damage as I have maybe DPS coming out the back row. Oh, this is on the original Xbox. So we're on OG Xbox. Woohoo! Metal Dungeon. Ah, my mic. It is a very forgotten game and not necessarily quality. It is, in a lot of ways, a roguelike, because you have some random dungeon sort of stuff going on. What is that red spot for? What's that all about? Is that just a corner? Oh, it's a chest. Got it. But you have some instances where the combat itself is very bland. I think partly because of the limitation actions you can take in combat. Partly the automation that sort of happens. And honestly, the theme isn't exactly very original or thrilling to look at. So you end up just going floor to floor, trying to find switches to hit to go to the next floor. And then as you go through these floors, there are some special novelty sort of conditions that can happen, like the floor is full of gas, or you can't use certain items or things like that. It kind of depends on the floor. And that's what we're doing. So is this going to be an exciting stream? This is going to be, if you want a nerdy stream, and by nerdy I mean let's just get into the deep cuts of some of these retro consoles, you've come to the place. Right place? Don't know, but a place. So congrats. You did it. You've made it to the armpit of Twitch, where it's not about banging chairs and, you know, getting subs, but just about suffering together and really bringing people closer in pain. A little bit of that, you know, that's what we're all about. Also, why? So I have a caster in the front. I can pause the gameplay. Hooray! All right, I gotta change my formation here because I have a melee guy in the back row, so he's not gonna do anything, and I have a magic user in the front row. That is just, I don't know what that's all about. Salesman of the year. I am so glad I rated the stream. Absolutely. Because you're getting some deep cuts now. You're going to be able to tell your friends, go to parties, be like, yeah, you ever play Metal Dungeon? And be like, what? You go, yeah. Before it was cool. It should be so cool. What button takes me to my menu? Okay, order, please. So we want our caster not in the front row. There we go. That's more like it. So now we actually have a front row with melee, like a sane person would. Cage was getting hit. That just... Ooh, what does Cage have for spells? We have... You can heal HP. Okay. So go ahead and heal yourself up, Cage, because you got hit once. That's what it's all about. That's what we got. Thank you. Go Browns. Also, go Browns. Do not forget. It's not just Cleveland. It's Believeland. Sometimes you just gotta say, "Orange, you glad I'm wearing this jersey?" Orange, glad. Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks for joining up for a little bit. We're gonna just keep on battling. Now, this is our first night of covering Metal Dungeon. Last night I finished up Panzer Dragoon Saga, so we got to see the end of that and kind of what that was all about. Oh, lots of love. Thanks. Thanks, Jaws. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. But yes, so this is our first night with this. I don't know, for those of you who may have seen Panzer Dragoon Saga before, a fairly cult classic sort of RPG on the Sega Saturn. For sure, Crow with the first cut is the deepest. Oh, snap. Oh, they are not the worst team in American football. They were the worst team in American football. Alright, so I can use both triggers to evacuate the party. Okay, so that's how we run. We don't need to run, though. Because we're running the table here. But yeah, so Panzer Dragoon Saga, RPG on the Sega Saturn. That probably took about 17, 18 hours roughly to go through. Oh yeah, Texans. Those poor souls. Let's just trade away our picks. let's have just a bunch of controversy with our QB and just be in terrible, terrible straits. What? Not everyone in the world knows about the NFL? What? Nah, man. It's weird, especially with international sports, where it's like in Australia, you got the AFL, right? And that's huge. But then, most elsewhere in the world, you have varying levels of either rugby or soccer, or big-time soccer / football there. Or, I guess, cricket sometimes. That's more just because colonialism kind of spread that a bit. But you have like more of those being popular, and then you get into American football, and it's either has a Canadian flavor or they try to bring it into England, and then it's just the U.S., which is just completely dominant, right? And yeah, it's weird too, because it's like, so with, you get like Premier League and things like that with soccer, and you have such a strong regional flavor to it, kind of like what you have with college American football, and you don't get that as much with the NFL. You kind of get some localized fandom a little bit, but not really as strong. You kind of get more of almost like a tradition sort of thing with fandom, or there's more of a corporate presence with it, right? Hey, dismantle a trap. Fantastic. What is that? Is that a chip of some kind? I have no idea what these items are. Let's find out. Whoa, we got items here. Yeah, what's this do? Spell chip for Gusta. Oh, okay, so it's a wind chip. I guess I can use that with my spellcaster. Okay, cool. But yeah, because like where I work, we have a lot of international folks, right? And so you get a big variety of sports and fandom, things like that. And it's very different. And I find it sometimes it is kind of difficult to get into new sports just because you need that appreciation, right? Like in general, if you're not into sports, that's one thing. But then if you are into sports, even like any kind of sport in general, it's difficult to get that appreciation for something you haven't either had exposure to or just on that regional sort of appreciation. So, for instance, I have a lot of friends who either can't come from like New Zealand or Australia or some northern states in the U.S., at least in college, where they play a lot of rugby. And so there's like this huge love for rugby and like looking at different streams that would be available for different matches, because you don't exactly get a lot of broadcast in the U.S. for rugby. And that was sort of an interesting community to sort of start dipping into, because now it's like you have people banding together on social media, calling out when certain streams are up or archiving their own clips, things like that, really to try to spread the love of rugby. And you kind of find people who are into it as well. It's almost kind of like what you get with any kind of hobby fandom, almost like a convention sort of thing. See you later, Tay. Appreciate you coming out. But yeah, and I found where my introduction into becoming a mixture of finding like board games or video games that are of the sport, and then starting to dip into all that social media stuff, seeing what makes people crazy for the sport or teams, and try to get my head around it, and then try to equate that with some of my NFL fandom and tell people about that as well, in case it is of interest to them. I can't recall if this was where I came from. Yeah, that is my exit. But yeah, and on top of that too, sports can be very decisive in terms of a topic to even talk about, because it feels like it's a very binary sort of choice where you don't really have people who are halfway into some kind of sport or fandom. Either they watch it, they enjoy it, they have some history with it, or they are not into it at all and they do not care. That was something I ran into quite a bit with American football video games, actually. That's the reason why I started doing some of the streams I did with Madden, was that partly retro games are expensive now. So it's very difficult to collect, to buy, to otherwise get exposed to some games unless you go to some weird budget things like Metal Dungeon, things like that. But sports games are always very cheap. And more so, they're always very popular. Like, if you look at sales figures and such, they, in the U.S., like, Madden might get outsold by Pokemon and maybe a couple of Square Enix games every now and then. I know, right? Madden streams for days. And, for those who may have hopped on the streams before, yeah, I mean, that's something I did quite a bit. I plan on doing more in the future. But, it was something to where you have this game that seems to sell quite a bit, have a lot of popularity. So many copies are made that it just saturates the market and become cheap. But you have a very decisive separation, or there's a very decisive perspective on those games where either they are a ripoff because they're made all the time and there's not as much of an appreciation for them, or they're exactly what you're looking for and they're like an iteration on a previous game that you enjoy quite a bit. Can I equip any of these somehow? Iron Crusher is okay. Speed Knuckles. I feel like I have to go to like member to do this. Oh, I see. X is equipment. Let's go with. Okay, so I can have shields and my knuckles. So it increases my strength by 10 or by 4. Cool. Yeah, we'll go with that upgrade. But that's what got me into Madden. I went to it was in Austin, Texas. It was a retro game fest, I think it was called. But what they would do is for some of the vendor areas, they would have. Do I have anything? No. Okay. But in some of the vendor areas, they would have like piles of more or less surplus from whatever game shop they work at. And that's a lot of the vendors were. They were either local game shops or online sellers that all of a sudden brought their stuff, things like that. And this would be a way of dumping them out. So they would have like a $2-3 section, dig through the cardboard box of junk we brought that we wouldn't sell, pick some stuff out, give us cash, call it done. And of course, there were a lot of sports games and Madden games there. But what I found is when I would go through them, just, because more of curiosity and sort of looking at them, I would recognize some players on the covers, but again, I never played many of the Madden games at all at that time. I mean, there are people who were downright angry that those games were in the boxes or just really talking some junk about them. And it was really kind of surprising to me how strong those feelings were in this, number one, in a festival of retro games, but number two, that it wasn't a lukewarm feeling. It was very negative or fairly positive, because there were folks that would have, like, say, some memories of playing certain versions of Madden because it came out, they were following the NFL season that season, and they would either play along their favorite team with that season, or have friends do their own leagues, like in college. It would be kind of a bonding experience with the game. But that's what it became. It was either very fond or very negative. And that's what started interesting me, was that, okay, there has to be something to this. And I never understood it because I just didn't play the games. And with that, and with the cheaper cost of the games, I just started picking them up with the mission of trying to play through, hopefully, each year of Madden in some way. Either, like, I tried to stay consistent amongst certain consoles just for comparison reasons, since it would be usually the same game engine or very similar build to a previous year, but with some iteration that was done. To kind of get a feel for what the games were all about and see if there was some sort of history along with that particular year of the game. And sometimes there would be. I mean, there'd be where you'd have years where I think it was 2004, with Michael Vick was a very big deal because he was busted as a character. I have played a little bit of Quarterback Club. I've also played some NFL 95. I mean, you have that Mutant League football. You have a lot of the John Walsh college football games. Yeah, but I remember with NFL Quarterback Club, the thing I really liked about it were the mini games that were involved. So with NFL Quarterback Club, that had a strong focus on trying to bring. It kind of lined up with some of the quarterback competitions you would see during those years. And I mean, they still have those competitions, I think, during the Pro Bowl. But where you would have I think they was usually still with the Players Association, where they would have rights for the quarterback names and stats and likenesses and all that. But they would focus on sort of quarterback play. So you would have a lot of pass-heavy plays. You would have a lot of focus on the mini games and competition with that. They would have like high score tables for those competitions, things like that. And I really enjoyed it. It created a different experience from Madden. And overall, that's what I end up looking for with a lot of these football games. It's not so much how well does a football game play like a Madden football simulation game, but more of, is this more a distinct enough product where I'd want to play that at some point instead of Madden, because I'm looking for like a slightly different experience. And some games did well with that. You would have NFL Quarterback Club, obviously, had that niche. You would have Mutant League Football, which a lot of it was having this combat, almost Blood Bowl kind of style with the game. And then you would have more so the clones of Madden, which you'd have like NFL 95, which was Sega Sports' take on it. I think Sterling Shepard had a football game on the Super Nintendo. You had Play Action Football and Super Play Action Football, which was a Nintendo property for the NES and the Super Nintendo, respectively. Let's see, I think that was... Actually, let me see what that item was first. And the... Okay, I don't know what the design generator does. And a lot of them would be fine. They would provide some variation and, again, play calling in strengths of certain types of players and teams. But it ends up being almost a kind of splitting hairs of what you might really be looking for in a game. And it's not always effective to go down that road, because you feel like you're playing a very similar game all the time. It's very hard to, at least for me, it's very hard to feel like I'm playing a fresh game. So I can get burned out on playing football games if it's a lot of the same kind of simulation. Which even then, Madden is its own type of simulation. It's not very accurate, for instance. It's a very arcadey overall sim light. You know, you're not messing with a lot of tables necessarily. Later iterations, they provide more menus and more options for drafting, for team management, but it's never as hardcore as doing like an Excel sheet of stats. Or like the fantasy football aspects they would introduce in later Madden games. They never go to the extent of true fantasy football, right? So it ends up being a bit of a simpler, streamlined experience for various kinds of gameplay you can have in a football game that you might find in a more hardcore way in something else, ultimately. And those can differ in... What's this going to do to me? Is it maybe a poison of some kind? I'm assuming there's statuses in this game, like poison and such. But, you'd start finding different kinds of games on different platforms even. So with the PC, you have a lot of sim-heavy football games on the PC. Just because of the horsepower available on the PC, and honestly, the amount of memory available to do, like, statistics galore and calculations. You can have a database just sitting on the PC that you can update from the developer to do something. Like, all that is available. So... those would tend to be the games, as well as so with a PC gamer, they're used to having a more long form kind of gameplay experience, because you'd be playing things like Europa Universalis, so a lot of those kind of 4X strategy games, as well as, again, maybe doing more other kinds of simulation or long form multiplayer games. And on top of that, you have online that's just built in. So a lot of the older football games on the PC would offer some rudimentary multiplayer or online updates, roster updates, things like that. Things people would be asking for in Madden, like why can't you just update the roster from last year's game instead of release a new game? PC was doing that because they could. And that's usually you just do a download from whoever's site on their FTP server, and then you run the patch. Or you drag and drop the text file in, and now you're updated. You know, it would be as straightforward as that. So that's a very long-winded rant thing about, hey, have I ever played NFL Quarterback Club? So there you go. It feels like it's a deep well once you start getting into those kinds of games, really what's out there. And I've been trying to do that with not just sports games, but even a genre that I've traditionally been very weak in have been strategy games. And that could be either with like tactical strategy games or, again, those simulation strat games like a Europa, like, what else am I thinking of here? Hearts of Iron. Pretty much anything Paradox puts out. You know, those really head spacey kinds of strat games. I think this was the one I reactivated, right? Yeah. Hype for a rant, I'm glad. But, you know, those always seem to be an opportunity for me to try something else that I really wouldn't usually play, especially with the amount of retro stuff I have. There ends up being a very large variety of games available. And I want to be able to try to sample them all at some point. Partly to justify having the game still, because just sitting on a shelf doesn't really do a whole lot of good for me. And, you know, if you have a variety of things around, why not try them? Why not give it a shot? And sometimes you start running into folks who know a lot about the game, and they are just enthusiastic about it. Like, I found that out with Intelligent Cube, which is a really awesome puzzle game on the PS1. I think Intelligent Cube 1 may have been a launch title. I don't quite recall. Actually, no, I don't think it was a launch title, but it was pretty close to the start of the PlayStation 1. But really, really awesome puzzle game. And there was a sequel that was Japan only. I think there were like 3 sequels that were Japan only. One was on the PlayStation, one was on the PSP, and another one was on the PS2. But with those, I didn't know there was a whole crowd of folks who like optimized play in it and knew all kinds of tricks and stuff. And it wasn't until I did this, it was like a 24-hour stream I did before. It wasn't until I did that and had some folks just watching the stream and just telling me all about it. And this is stuff I never really had exposure to previously, but just all these genres, all these types of games, old or new, you know, they got communities around them. They got a history of folks. And you really don't know much about it or have an appreciation for it until you kind of jump in and, you know, fail a few times with it, either on stream or with friends and what have you. And it ends up being weirdly scary and anxious sometimes, but very rewarding just getting exposed to it. And I found it's much more fun to expose myself to these than just say, hey folks, play this game I'm really familiar with and you better appreciate it now, like Metal Dungeon. You know, it's very selfish of me, but I like it. I like trying those new things and getting a better idea of what games can be all about, since I usually just don't have much of appreciation for other things outside my immediate realm. So I don't know, for those of you watching, you know, what are some common genres you usually play for games? Things that you usually kind of your go-tos, right? Things you're very familiar with. You know, are you very much a RPG buff? Do you like your shooters? Are you all about them fighting games? Getting some Tekken on, getting some Street Fighter on. You know, what tickles your fancy? Mm-hmm. Are you all about that Puzzle Quest? All about that Candy Crush? All about those match 3s? Can't get enough? let's throw up some heals, because we might be hitting a boss soon, and I don't want to die right away. Maybe later, but not right now. I got 3 heals left, and I got... Alright, so it's kind of like, oh, what version of D&D was that like? Is it just most D&D systems where you have so many spell slots per level and like you have so many casts of that spell? Like I don't think it's just like a numeric value for MP. If I recall. What's this for again? I forget what this does. Is this where I can just get new party members? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that was 4th edition. Yes, sir. Oh, snap, Primal Rage? Look at you. Gonna get in some of that gory dinosaur fighting each other's. I like it. I dig it. That is elevator. Is there another door I can go through? Is there an easier way to look at this map besides what I got popped up here? Like, can I just scroll through this thing? No, of course not. Okay. So I'm just going to wander around a little bit. I believe I'm supposed to have another switch I'm supposed to hit. Unless I'm supposed to go through the elevator to get the other switch. I might have to do that. But I thought I recalled them saying 2 switches. So, kind of thinking I need another switch. But I don't see a room for it, so I guess we don't. I guess we go through the elevator and we call it done. Alright, maybe there's a room. There's a... No, that's the... Yeah, okay, never mind. What was that other one? That was the one switch. That's the elevator. That was the body room. Okay. I think we've seen about everything, and let's just kill this guard, get some experience. But yeah, certainly let me know. What do you guys like? What's out there for you? Do you have any games that are like comfort food for you? Got an MMO that's, you know, your sort of retreat from reality for a bit. Running some instances, got some guilds, things like that. I know for me, I jam on Yahtzee quite a bit, actually. I love me some Yahtzee. There's it's Clubhouse Games on the Switch. They have a version they call Yacht Dice, which I guess that's the OG game that Yahtzee's based on. I play that online quite a bit, get a lot of enjoyment from it. Oh, new folks. Snap. I kind of want to use attacks from my mage yet, just because I want to save those for a boss if I run into a boss. But I don't know how hard these things are going to hit. And I'm assuming the only way I'm really going to recharge my MP would be to go back to town. Let's see how hard you hit. Oh, you're all casters? Oh, fun. AoEs. Thank you. Thank you for that garbage. Great. Well, maybe I will be going back to town. Alright, let's go to Cage. Let's go ahead and use a spell. Use on you. Well, at least with spells I can target folks, because I'm pretty sure with attack I can't target a particular enemy. Which is kind of lame. Come on, spell. Alright, get another attack. Maybe I won't cast a spell and save it. Alright. Am I going to level up ever? Jeez. Okay. I might have to go back to town at some point here. What's this room? Tuning. What's that do? Does that refill health? No. Does that refill magic? No. What did that do? What did you do? Well, I don't have any heal items, I can tell you that much. What would tuning do? I have to go look at the freaking construction booklet. Thrill House needs some heals. It needs heals, and probably you. Yeah, man, I might have to go back to town, dude. This is getting rough. I might actually go ahead and do that now because I don't know if I can take another fight from more magic users. Those guys were not easy. Which means when I leave, it's going to change everything in the dungeon again. And that's going to be super duper. Maybe we get some more gear, though. That would be nice. Because I have, like, no gear. I got, what, one pair of knuckles? Yeah, return to the surface. I got my new pair of knuckles, and I think that's about it. Then I got those chips and other items I really don't know what I'm supposed to use with yet. Yep. Okay, so we go to the dock. Modification. I have to sell some stuff to get money, I guess. Okay, cool. Trade booth. Sell. Let's start with this. I wonder if my fencer would do well with that. I should try equipping that. Besides that, temporary boost to agility. I think it's a unit I can install. More spell. I mean, the spell chips would be pretty cool to equip. Don't know what I use the sonic generator for yet. I trade those orbs for items. Got it. Okay. I got 60 gold. Goody. Let's go to base camp. Let's go to status of... I think on my fencer. Can I equip anything with you? Yeah. X. Let's go to... So you got that. So I lose some major agility, which stinks, but I add 6 to my damage. I might have to do that. And I lose my shield. Ooh. You know, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens when we go full on hammer here. I might have regrets, but... Yeah, might have regrets. Lose some defense, lose some agility, just take damage now, Elsbeth. That's what you're gonna do. That's your prerogative. Or overwrite, yeah. But man, I got like no money. Like, how lame is that? I hope I get more money from what you would call it. Did I unequip a sword? Yeah, I should have a couple items unequipped now that I can sell, right? Where are they at? Because that's equipped. I should have a shield and the fencing saber. Did I miss them? No, I don't know where they are. Okay, cool. Great. Well, I thought I was going to sell them, but they are somewhere else. And everything's just way too expensive. Oh, okay, let's go to the lab. I guess I can do some work for hires. That might be a way of making money. So I guess I use the orbs for this. Ah, and so you see these here are special types for Gladiator, Arts Ranger, Spellfighter, Sage. Okay, so I think that's how you get your special classes in this. Interesting. Yeah, let's try some work for hire. Let's do... I have to pay for that? Okie dokie, Smokey. Well, I got to pay for those. So I guess we just go back in the dungeon. Boy, howdy, here we go. This is going to be a grind. Yep. Ugh. I mean, if I level up, that will be the way to go. I think we're all level 1 still, yeah. Will you tell me how much experience I need? 72, I can level at 128. Okay, so we're getting there. That second part of this stage, though, is rough. We'll see how this hammer does, though. Might be pretty cool. Provide some good damage output. Maybe I can find... If I can counter that loss of agility, that'd be handy. Because I'm assuming agility is going to be for both evasion and for just pure initiative speed. If I can make you fast and a heavy hitter and just disregard... what you call defense, that might be the way to go. Bam, 25. Let's go. Yeah, just hit them hard. You don't want to get hit, just hit them hard. Perfect. So far, this isn't a bad game. I mean, right away, I'm finding I'm having at least some interesting choices to make for party composition. I don't have a lot of abilities to work with yet. And admittedly, the monotony of having to go through menus for a turn-based fight, it's kind of nice not having to do that. I sort of set up my system of characters and just have them go. That's not bad. Whoa, dang! What was that all about? I didn't know I could do that with a hammer. Okay. Shoot. Well, how about them apples, huh? Ah. Apparently, I can just hit all enemies with the hammer. Okay, so the hammer's a good choice. That is a good upgrade. We'll keep it. Away we, oh, chest. Ah, do you got money? Y'all got some money? Nah, more of those packs. Okay. That's fine. I might end up selling some of those too, just to make some money back. There we go. Activate the elevator. Yeah, that might be the way to go, is just for those one-off items. Just sell them. Who needs them? Hey, Hammer, you want to do an AoE like that again? This is the time. I'm hoping this analyzer will pay off also. I mean, having the range damage is decent, but starting to be able to scan enemies and such, I'm assuming there's value to that. I see how much health they have already, so I don't know why I may. Oh, you know what? I think. Good deal, Hammer. Good job. Maybe I wouldn't be able to see that health if I did not have an analyzer. I wonder if that's what it's all about. Which, yeah, that'd be kind of lame. It's nice to know. Target for magic. If that's what is indeed what's going on here. I really don't know for sure. Oh yeah, so there is a strategy game to, or a strategy guide to this game, believe it or not, for a budget original Xbox game, and it's Japan only. So yeah, but I assume it would have lots of nice stats and such. We will find out soon-ish about that whenever it comes in. It'll probably take a while because it's, you know, gonna take a while to come in. What is this hammer? Let's check out the hammer. See if it's any good. Fencer. Oh, let's see here. Check the Iron Crusher. Is this any better? And I lose more agility? Dang. It has a freeze. So was the Iron Crusher have a... I mean, if you got a special condition, yeah, let's do that. Cool. Now I am in a negative for my agility for her. That's not super great. Oh, cool. I found Thunder Chip. I have to get those equipped to my mage eventually. We gotta get some spells on them. Given how spells work, I'm assuming once they're on there, I have that quantity to work with. So I'm not just going to be SOL with MP or anything like that. Nice. But yeah, at least right now, early game, money is really important. And I don't got a lot of money at all. And I'm not exactly finding a lot of gear to sell. I can sell that one hammer now, I think at 800 gold. So that'll be pretty decent. Maybe that'll be the boost I need to start doing some upgrades. Yeah, you're gonna get hit hard. I wonder if I have to move you to like the side instead of the center. Bam. damage. Let's go. How close are we to that level, folks? So, is EX not... Maybe experience goes down that? I don't understand what I'm looking at there for EX, which I thought was experience. Because number one, it's way, way different amongst all these folks. Am I missing something with that? I thought I understood what I was looking at for experience points, but maybe I'm not. So I don't know when I'm going to level up. Oh, we got caster here. Crap. Crap poop. Alright, we're going to get... Cage. You're going to use a burn on that caster. That might work, though. Again, they might have spell resist, so we're going to find out. Come on, hammer. Hit them both. Something. That'll do. Can we get fire off? No, we're all going to get hit. Okay. Am I going to get spell off? Dang! There we go. Instant. Let's go. That's a special ability I like. Alright, spell, cage. Whoop. Oh, please, hammer, don't hurt him. Your wraps are so thick, hammer. Gotta watch that. Elspeth, you got some health, girl. Whoop. Let's go to member. Did it go up? I guess it went up. Do we ever level up? Because it looks like I'm gaining experience, right? I think it was my analyzer who had like 100 some. But I still see level 1. Do I get stat increases, but that is like a job level? I don't understand. There's probably some weird way how levels work, and maybe it doesn't go right away. I don't know. I don't know how it's supposed to work. Here, have some bullets. You've been bulleted. You've been punched. And I will hammer you. Bam. Can I get a spell off? Nope, can't do that. Just, what are you gonna do to me here? Okay, sure, whatever. That was a waste of spell. How long does it take for me to cast? Dang. Because I queued that up about as early as I could. Well, we're not using it this time. Bro, how long does it take to cast a spell? So we got a couple open questions here. Number one, when do I actually get to level? Number two, how long does it take to cast a spell in this game? Goodness gracious. Spell, burn. Burn that person. Yeah. There. Command is set. You should be burninating the countryside. In theory. I bet it's going to look super cool. Super cool looking spell. I hope it is. It better be. Okay, maybe I gotta move you out of the center because it looks like you get hit quite a bit. Maybe it's because of your lower defense. Maybe they just target you. I don't know. Still don't get the spell off. Cage, I'm trying to put you in the game, brother, but it just isn't happening. Alright, so let's try a slight change in order here. We're going to take Elsbeth and put her... I say swap her with Thrill House. Yeah. Maybe that will slightly reduce the attention she gets. It may not, but anything to try to preserve her, because she's got some heavy damage, and she doesn't have the greatest agility right now. Is this me being surprised, or is this me surprising them? I think it's me being surprised. Okay, so yeah, that position's not going to matter a whole lot. Cage, can you throw like a heal on... Yeah, on Elspeth, we'll do that. Do that for me, please. I'd appreciate it. If you'll ever cast a spell. Like, logically, rationally, having a mage should be a really good idea. Besides outside of battle casting spells right now, Cage, you ain't doing a whole lot. You know what I mean? You know? Well, this is the extent of Cage's help right now. He throws up heals sometimes. He does do that. Nothing in there. Is it just going to be just a really slow build through this game then? Is that what we're kind of anticipating? Oh, Hammer, I need some special abilities now. Let's see if we can get Cage to do some magic. Let's try it. Burn this person in the back row. Just see if you can do it. I believe. There's some other turn-based RPGs that have a very hands-off approach to some targeting of items in a party. Like what I'm thinking of here is, I think it's some of the Dragon Quest games where you might have certain enemies where it'd be like they're... No, it's... I think I'm thinking of... what is it? Something in the Darkness. What's it called? It's on the Genesis. Anyway, you might have similar type enemies clustered together in a group. So you can attack a group of enemies, but you can't necessarily target a single enemy within that group. So that, oh hey, we got a spell. All right. That did damage. Okay, that was worth it. Cool. But what would happen is you might have, I don't think it's even just like enemies. Oh, sweet, freeze, nice. But it might be just a cluster of enemies in general as a single group. But you can't target individuals, thus it makes it a little bit harder to try to optimize commands. Then you kind of just go with what seems best for that group and hope for the best. This reminds me a little bit of that, just because I can't target single enemies except with spells, you know. So you get a little bit of that. That's kind of interesting. You're still sort of at the whims of how the AI is going to operate. They seem to do all right with spreading damage. It looks like the analyzer does a little bit better with targeting low health enemies for the most part. So that's kind of cool. We'll see if that still holds true here. Yeah, see, analyzer is doing some good cleanup. Much appreciated. So I think we're playing decently smart right now for what the game is. Oh, she just can't finish them off. I feel like I should have Cage do another spell here just to thin him out a little bit. Might as well use the spells if I got them, right? Might as well. Alright, analyzer, go get them. Pew pew pew, laser guns. Or bullet guns. See, it's slow because it's the thinking man's game. Man, where was that before? Could have cleaned up some freaking enemies there. Help me out. Oh, more packs. Yeah, maybe I just gotta sell packs. That might be just it. Alright, y'all got it. Instant kill? Okay, yeah. Go strikers. I wonder if there's a way for me to modify the chance of hit for that. Maybe it's like a critical hit sort of thing. And so if I can optimize that, that'd be super slick. I want that happening as much as possible. Yeah, nothing else in there. Getting caught in the walls. There's rats in the walls. Get out, get out. And a chest. And more chips. Man, I need money to use these chips. I don't got money. More money, more problems, man. I just got problems right now. I don't got no money. I'm poor. That's why I'm dungeon delving. By the way, doing like the monster quest things cost money. Which is, or like even the area clears and stuff. That's ridiculous. Like, I'm assuming that's probably going to be how I make money here. Doing that. But, you know. Ba-da-doo. Okay, another battle. Here we go. Maybe I have to go back to town to, level up? I don't know. Good attack, by the way, Elsbeth. Well done. Soften them up. Bam. Thank you, Analyzer. Clean it up. Bam. There we go. Very efficient system of attacks. Beat up those Egyptian-inspired horsemen, I guess. Is that what they are? Yeah, like, what am I supposed to do with you? I could look it up in the instruction book, I guess. Try to confirm suspicions, or heaven forbid the leveling up happens like by paying for something. That would be just great. Like it's a lab option or something, and it's, oh, you got enough experience, well now you can do this doodad. If you have the money. Oh, zombies, fantastic. Because they are not weak. I'll just go ahead and cast some spells. There's a bit of an unreliability with my spellcaster I'm finding right now, especially with the fact of just taking so long to cast. Like, I'm not feeling great about the fact if I have someone that needs a heal really quick, I may not be able to heal them very quickly. Oh, that's right, because I got a front row person, so those three can't attack. Okay. That's handy. Can I use that? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a characteristic to how this battle system works where that back row, because they're all melee, cannot attack until the front row is wiped out. Is there anything I can do to... Target the wrong one, oh well. Is there anything I can do to take advantage of that to... I don't know, maybe concentrate on the back row once I soften up the front? Again, I can't target anyone specific, like, unless I use magic users, I guess. I would just spam that. But I don't know if I get anything else that allows me to target specific enemies. That would be handy. Just saying, that would be super handy to have. That way, then, I can basically make a lot of the enemy enemy configurations useless if they're just stuck in the back row and can't attack. That would be cool. Is this game sophisticated enough to give me some options to do that? Or am I just going to be stuck with, well, you happen to kill most of the front row and the back row happen to be fairly loaded, so now they can't do anything? You know, is that more of what I'm going to be dealing with here? It's just incidental strategy instead of anything I can really actively do. Who knows? Is that what this game is going to be? Just me having a bunch of questions about what I want to do, what I wish I could do, and then what I can actually do. Got him. Throw up some heal. We got 3 heals left. Okay. And I really don't want to use up what little money I have right now for heals, or for like healing items necessarily. I would like to try to up some of the stats or equipment of my party. Assuming that their stats are going up with experience. Half shield. I don't have anyone that uses a shield right now, so I can sell it. I can sell the shield. We can certainly do that. Well, it's about... Shoot, here we go. Here's the advantage of the game right here. I can just, while it's going, look at the manual. Let's see what leveling up is all about. Do-do-do-do-da-bop-bop-bop. Scooty-bop-bop-bop. Spells. Those are different effects. Okay. Rooms. Ouchies. Containers. Searching the dungeon. Different kinds of spells. So we've got all the spell guides here. Okay, so I earn function points when I hit my thresholds for experience. So that means I have to figure out how to use function points to up my stats, I guess. So I have points to use to get more points. That's what this is. Okie dokie, Smokey. Sure thing. Maybe it's done in the lab. Maybe it's done at the surface with some of the condition stuff of my characters. I'll have to play around with that once I go back to the surface. Dang, leave Elsbeth alone, dude. She didn't even get to attack yet. See, there we go. Man, she's going to need some heals, and I am out of heals. Hopefully I get my spell off before those enemies attack. We'll see, because I would like to soften them up a little bit more. Cast, thank you. Hit the... Oh, I'm hitting the 11 pointer, yeah. Well, at least he's dead, so that's a plus. These strikers, man, they're getting some initiative. Look at that. Look at that, man. We just got some turns out of that. Nice. 39 XP. So maybe I just have a stockpile of function points I can use now and just really get my characters going. And then all my complaining means nothing. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and go back because I'm out of heals and I feel like I should have something I can spend to increase my stats. That's what it seems like. Yeah, let's return to the surface. Why not? Let's do it. Because I'm going to one-shot a lot of these folks. That'd be great. Thank you. 18 fights. Let's look at the lab. No, that's not what I want. Base camp. Okay, I don't think that's what I use. That's switching and reallocating, monitor items, data files. Okay, that's all that stuff. Oh, don't want that. Trade booth is for shop. Lab is for the work for hire and exchange. Elemental orbs for items. Okay, the dock. I can attach a unit. Let's add some chips. I need some more ASP though. Okay. Trial hall entrance. So what does powering up do? Okay, so that's where I use my function points. Let's start with actually Elspeth. I got 20 function points. So let's see here. It's attack power. How many hit points you have. Carry capacity. Yeah, I do want to increase that a couple times over. Hidden traps, resist, gunshot, attack spells, effect spells, defense spells. So certainly let's load up on some damage here. Looks like that is definitely affecting my level. Let's go ahead and throw another agility in here to counter that, and more power. Okay, Elspeth is now level 6. And the higher level, I'm assuming, is more expensive to power them up. Yeah. Alright, so let's see if we can sell something. Sell Iron Crusher. Yeah, appreciate you coming on, Jaws. Get some sleep, man. I know it's late for you, and yeah, appreciate it. Have a good night. Do it to it. There's my half shield. Well, I'll sell that. Let's do it. We'll get some cash here. We can actually power up my guys a little bit. Yeah. Hey, there's always love here for the Jaws gang here. Absolutely. Much appreciated. Let's go ahead and let's go to the lab. No, we want the dock. Modify cage. Power you up. Do that. Do 9 on that. Let's do that. Let's effect spells. Resist would be decent. Defense. I might want some more defense on you. Some more defense on. And yeah, let's do the resist. There we go. Now we... Oh, it costs 70 to do chips now. Dang. There you go. Now you got some. There's a weight limit on that too. Ugh. Okay. Dock. DSP or sensory. I think you are going to want the sensory, right? Yeah, we'll do that. Oh. Attach unit, DSP, that's fine. Power you up. So you are Knuckles. Let's do that. Let's increase your carry capacity a little bit. That'll be helpful. HP, yes. A couple times over. Defense, where it needs some defense. And let's go ahead and do another knuckle. Call it done. Thrill House. And I think we're going to kind of do something similar here where we're going to have spread it across carrying capacity, defense. I might make Thrill House a little bit faster too, just to give me a little something else there. Some more hit HP, more attack power. Let's make you a little bit faster too. And more attack power, sure. Kind of speed you up a little bit. I may want to increase Cage's agility more too, just so I can get spells off a bit quicker. That might be handy. Alright, my analyst here. Sensory's good. I have some resist on that too. That's more power dot shot. Do some resist on that. Sensory's pretty good. Defense. Let's add a little bit of defense. Let's get you some more initiative. Yeah? Okay. So I think that covers our stats. Let's go ahead and save. Which, again, we kind of spread that out amongst a few different kinds of stats there. So we'll see how that pans out. It's certainly, I don't think it's optimal to those classes necessarily, though I feel like with at least wanting to get more turns in for attacks and addressing some of the downsides of how, for instance, how hammers are going to work, I wanted to really work on agility a bit and overall be able to take some hits. I probably can increase the resist a little more across the board for spells, but that may not be super necessary right now. Oh yeah, now we're going to be one-shotting with some folks. That's going to be pretty helpful. And I might split up my strikers where one will be more defensive and while one will have more agility. So I get kind of a quick shooter in there. Leg pad. Where's that going to go? Elspeth, do you need a leg pad? No, you don't. Well... yeah, we'll give you some more defense, because you're kind of lacking with that anyway with your weapon. But this might give us a much easier time now. It's expensive spending those points. It certainly pays to grind up your function points a bit before going in to allocate them. What's cool though is we have a lot more points to spend on spells for our mage. Because, I mean, if we look at Cage, the mage, we got 3 attack spells now. Like, we got something to work with. That's 30, those are 30 attacks, really. I wish I had more recovery spells, but then again, here we are. I might just have to fill up on items a little bit eventually. That way, see, that's going to be kind of the key, too, is having someone who can move quickly in a battle to use items when I get items, just because of how slow my mage can be. Now, again, I can always just put a bunch of points into agility and try to solve that, but I don't know if that's going to be worth it, especially with trying to increase magic power. I don't think defense is going to be a big thing I want to put points into, maybe once in a while just to keep up with certain parts of the game, but I don't think it's going to be super important. Not as much as spell damage, spell resist. We'll see. But I do like that that system of leveling up. That's not too shabby. It provides a unique challenge to how I manage my stats. You know, it's all a transaction of some kind. Bam. One-shotting enemies is helpful, for sure. That is decent. I see a guard droid. I want to battle you. I want the XPs. It's kind of... I am having fun with this game. I am enjoying this game so far. I am happy that I'm playing Metal Dungeon. I'll have to look up some more in-depth reviews later on to see how those reviews match up with my current gameplay experience. I'm not... I mean, after I figured out, oh, I gotta spend these function points to level up and getting some initial gold to work with, it's made it a lot easier to get through some parts of this game now. At least I can progress a little bit. Yeah. But even initially, it gave me some room to work for getting my initial experience, getting some equipment with some of the early encounters. It wasn't like a Dragon Warrior situation where it's just so hard in the beginning that you can only do a couple battles and have to run back to town. Like, I was able to go through the majority of the floor, if not the entire first floor, on my initial entrance into the dungeon. So that was pretty nice. I still want to be able to have some options for how I deal with certain enemy encounters and formations. Like if I can really lock down the back row of these enemies and effectively use that, or have a better feel for how the turn economy works in this. Just to give me some advantages where I'd want to use advantages. Right? I don't know if that'll be available to me or not. I hope so. I also did notice that the level number on a character, it's it can vary greatly based on just what stats you're increasing, and I don't feel like it's representative of the overall effectiveness of that character. Especially given the fact that I'm increasing stats I think would be fairly important, but it's almost like an Elder Scrolls game where there are some main stats for your class that impact level, and the other ones they're kind of just there. So it gives you a lot of freedom to build your character how you want. That's pretty cool. That for this kind of game, that's pretty slick. Now, but I don't know if level number is going to be a huge deal for other equipment. Obviously, stats are for like equipping spells and probably for other equipment. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, excuse me, for, say, going into certain quests or what. Like, for instance, the monster hunting quests, if those are really going to be hard on, hey, you need to be a certain level to go through this, or if it's more of a recommendation and you just sort of go in however, whenever. There's a lot of things I like about this game, dude. Like, if anything, it feels very much like how many mobile games are now. Like, if I had a more complex... my Discord's just flashing. Goodness. But, you know, if I had a more complexity in many AFK mobile games, games that have a lot of automation, this kind of fits that gameplay style. I can't just have it run on my phone, obviously, because it's on a console, but, you know, it has that feel where I do some configuration, I set up my system the way I want to in terms of the party, and then I just let it ride. And then just do some light management here and there. It feels very much like if I was doing an RPG party a management simulator. That's what this sort of feels like. Now, I still have some direct interaction with some actions that I can do with my mage, or have some characters guard if needed. But honestly, you know, there's a lot of hands off. And that's not a bad thing, folks. That's not bad. I do not mind that. It's also not a gorgeous game. There's some, again, it feels like it's a certainly a product of its time in terms of some of the themes used and whatnot. I can dig it. It's not like uncomfortably grotesque. There is a consistent theme to it, so cool. I don't feel like I'm playing something that I'm going to regret if, if my wife came in. It's not something that's super hentai or anything like that. Thank goodness. Yeah, that would be a bit uncomfortable. Like, no matter how good the game is, be like, I don't know if I want to be playing this around people right now. Like, there are a few PSP and Vita games I can think of where I'd probably be keeping that screen pretty close to me if I was playing that game. And it'd have to be a really good game for me to want to dig into that. 13 experience. We just keep grabbing the experience. Boop. We might be able to get into the second floor and really start doing some damage now, folks. Depending on how this goes, we might be ready for a boss encounter, too. We were very economical with our money when we had some to do our leveling up. That worked well. We basically leveled up, like, what, at least 5 levels for a character, if not more, depending on which character, for about 10 gold. Let's see if I can... Okay, that's how I get to that upper part. That chest up there I want to get. Over time, I feel like I'm looking more at the map than the actual environment. A lot like Diablo, right? Just, this is the most effective way to navigate now. I will say, at least for the beginning floor, stage, whatever you want to consider it, it's not the most interesting layout for a level. It feels like just a lot of straight or just kind of L-shaped hallways. You have a couple central rooms and some bigger areas, but I don't feel there's a lot of landmarks except for maybe those central rooms. I kind of wish there were more landmarks. Those are kind of fun for these randomly generated levels. More blobs. I could probably dodge. Well, that's kind of a cool thing too, is I could dodge a lot of these encounters by 1 and 2. Just not hit these patrol droids. Maybe deal with the encounters when I open up doors sometimes. And just move along. I just want the experience right now, though. I want to be able to spend those FP, those function points later. And maybe get some items. Like the... what was it, like the artificial organ from those zombies, or that sonic generator from the bats. Those weird things. Do I have more doors up here? It looks like I got some more doors. Let's do that. Bam. Look, chest. And eventually we get lots of chips to install on our folks and really fortify some stats. That'll be helpful. Super helpful. Okay, not bad. Nothing there. Oh, we might be ready for the elevator. Let's go ahead and head back to that elevator. Yep. Let's do it. Fortunately, the D-pad on the Duke the OG Xbox controller is not super bad. You get a little bit of rocking play with it, with how it's curved. My thumb rests on it pretty well. I'm just nudging it left to right as I go forward with these tank controls. For the most part, it's pretty comfortable. If there's anything that I'm like oversteering on, it's more of the sensitivity for the controls themselves, not really the D-pad, I feel like. Ooh, we got Pennant. What's that do? What does that do? Anti-paralysis. Okay, so let's go ahead and equip that on probably one of our frontline people right now. Let's say Thrill House, because you're fast. Is that going to be a neck? There we go. Give you some resistance that you wouldn't have. Give you a better shot at it. Okay, and let's go ahead and go through this door. Continue on. Beep, bop, bop, beep. Mages. Okay, cage. Spell. Use some thunder. Hits them all. Sure, that sounds good. Though the way we've been attacking, we might get through these folks pretty quick. 'Cause we're leveled up now, man. We do some damage. Bam. Oh, you're frozen too? Man, you ain't doing anything. Yeah, that's the kind of attack I want to do. I wonder if I can change the automatic action of my mage. I feel like I'm losing a turn because I have to switch the pending action for him. And that may not be super helpful. Let's find out. Do I... Items, order... That's just the order. System setup. Yeah, none of that's... It's just going to be default for guarding. Okay. There's probably nothing I can really do about that. That's fine. We will eat the cost of having the mage like that then, I guess. Ba, 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 ba. Bam. Onward and upward. This is the... Okay, so we got the elevator room here. Or at least the console to activate the elevator. Which I think is going to be where our boss is at. Hey, new enemy! Scorpions! They got some health. How's their defense? Their defense is good. Okay. Spell time. Thunder, all of them. Yeah. They might have decent attack too. We will find out. They had guns, tails for guns? Or guns for tails? That might mean that they have range. Yep. That's enough damage that I would rather not have to deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, you go out and bust them up. Having freeze on that hammer is kind of handy. That does help. Oh, if I can get my spell off, that'd be convenient. Or maybe an AoE. No. Okay. That's fine. Okay, let's see what kind of damage we can do with this. Aha! So it only... So I don't get to control who it targets. I see. I hit the right one. I mean, that's fine. But now I know that's not targeting everyone. That's just saying... I'll hit one of these guys. Actually, what kind of items do I have? Do I have any healing items? Is that... Up increases sensory. Okay, so no, I don't. Having the one healing spell kind of sucks a little bit. Alright, we'll keep it there for now. Oof. I may not be able to get away from buying healing items. I mean, maybe I'll find some more, like, restore magic chips. That'll be good. Get some more healing spells. So I feel like there's a degree of attrition I'll be experiencing in this just because of the limitations I have with turn speed and the spells I have on hand. Alright, we should be able to deal with this guy nice and easy. I can see this be a real big challenge trying to solo with a single character or doing some minimal runs like that. I wonder if there are those. Like, are there people that play Metal Dungeon like that, have records or long plays like that? Again, I don't believe it to be an overly popular game, but I mean, this day and age with games, there's all kinds of speed runs and communities around. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay. What do we got for magic? What's Gusta do? Gusta's only the front row. Yeah, we're gonna do thunder instead. Brisket the biscuit. Oh, hey, I can... Alright, range can hit rear. Cool. That helps. Let's kill the scorpion. Maybe? Not quite. We're gonna take some damage. Yep. And I'm gonna need to throw up a heal on someone. Shoot. That's not good. Yep, I'm... Alright, we need to deal with these guys now. Attack the 16 health, please. Good job. Does it finish him off? Almost. Can you finish off the 1 health? Let me get my magic off, maybe, and that might kill the other person. Nice. Come on, let me get my spell off. Thank you. I think we got this. Oh, you're spell resistant. Can I get another attack off? Alright, cool. I was wondering if they would be spell resistant. Yep. Okay. Heals. Heals, heals, heals. Yep. I have 1 heal left. Great. Yeah, defense or spell resistance might be in my near future. Oh, I don't want to fight. We escaped. Good. That's not a fight I really want to have. I just feel like those spellcasters are going to just hit me hard. Alright, I can take these guys. Fair enough. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I have to make sure that spell resist is also resistant to damage, or if I just need straight up defense for that. I'm assuming it's spell resist. But yeah, if that's the case, that's kind of weird where spell resist would be for all spells. That being damage, effect, whatever. Instead of having like resist for effects, while you would have, say, like spell defense for attack spells. That's something I've seen many games, right? Soft shoulders. Who can use this? Thrill House. You took some damage before. Let's get you. Soft shoulders. Yeah, there we go. Give you a little more D that way. There we go. Rubber glove. Hey! Is that gonna be a better weapon? No. That's arm. So Sendel can use that, and Cage can use that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give you some defense that way. Okay. That was gonna be like a knuckle weapon, but not so much. Not so much. Okay. I guess we go through this door here. And we can look at this hallway. Whoa, hey, guard. I guess we're fighting you anyway. And all right, we can take these guys. That's fine. This is a battle we want. We'll take this battle. I think we should be able to just not even use any spells. Oh yeah. There we go. Bam! Lit up. And he'll get an attack off. That's fine. And I just increased his defense with some equipment. So that works. Thank you. Appreciate it. 23 XP. Alright, single scorpion. We can do this. We can do this, folks. Oh, just instant kill him. Okay. Good. Done. Hey, calm down there, guard droid. You don't need to fight. Just, you know, be friends. Be friends. Yeah. There we go. So we go down this hallway in peace. See what's around. Another chest. Weapons, please. Nope. No weapons. Potato chips. We got potato chips. More mods, but I gotta spend more money on. That's pretty much it. Okay, I think this is the boss room, if I'm not mistaken. 2 entrances to it? Nope. Just kidding. Unless this is the boss room. Yeah, let's take on a boss. Sure. Let's do it. Okay, Cage. Spell Thunder on that. I might regret this fight. We're going to find out. It's like, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's get in this fight and get it done. Yeah. Dang. Hey, leave Elspeth alone, dude. Not cool. I'm coming here with no restore items, no restore spells left. We're just looking for a fight. If I get it freeze, that'd be cool. Probably not. Bam. Let's get some spells. More spells. Leave Elspeth alone, please. There we go. Spread out the damage. I'm good with that. Let's get some damage in. Let's keep it up. Bam. Let's go. Bam. Pummel. Spell time. Bam. More spells. Line them up. More characters attacking. Let's go. Pile on the damage. Oh, son. Oh, more knuckles? Let's go. Who are we going to attack this time? Let's let her live, please. There we go. Got him. Good job, everyone. Proud of you. Bam! First boss done. When they're a little underprepared eventually, but you know what? We took it. We did it. I like it. We have not a lot of cash still. That's okay. But we made it through, and we've unlocked the next... Probably unlocked the next floor, I would assume. Can we do anything in the dock? Any kind of... We can attach some units. What kind of units do I have? That is... Defensive magic... Shot... Sensory, and defense. So let's go with you. Let's attach some units. We'll go with shot, sensory, defense. I actually want to attach to, I think, dock. And then we're going to go to cage. Add that. So those are our, that's that. Do I have any other chips I'm going to put on? Ooh, ice on all enemies? Yes, please. And then I think I can sell those at this point because those are extra. Very good. Let's go to our shop. Sell Iron Crusher. Yup. Let's see here. Light boots can be sold. That can be sold. That can be sold. That's some cash, man. Money, money, money. Oh, what else can we purchase? That can help Thrill House. Cage would appreciate that. Ray gun would be good. Could do some rubber jackets across the board. Oh, yeah, let's do 2 rubber jackets. We're going to go ahead and go to Thrill House and Elsbeth. Yeah, 4 defense is good. We'll take that. Rubber jacket, yep. That'll be fine. Let's go ahead and go to the trade booth. We're going to sell. Boom, boom. Interesting. So, when I equip items like that, do I just lose them? Because I don't see them to sell unless they auto sell. I don't think that's the case. Should I be selling those items ahead of time? Huh. Well, let's see here. If I go to Elspeth. See, there's 2 soft jackets that aren't equipped, right? But unless they're all bundled together because they're still equipped, maybe that's it. So soft shoulder, soft jacket. No, those are separate. Huh. So where can I find the soft jackets I just removed? Why can't I see those to sell? Okay, whatever. Well, anyway, we're gonna save, and I think we might call it a night here. This was a good intro to Metal Dungeon, I think. Got to get through the first kind of floor boss thing. Picked up on how to level up characters. Money's pretty scarce, not gonna lie. That makes it a little tough, but we can become famous. We can buy followers and viewers. Thanks, bot. No, thank you. But yeah, so we've learned some things here today. Getting there with this game. I think, again, it's been pretty quality so far. I've been enjoying it. There's a decent amount of customization. Once again, feels a lot like a party management game rather than just a full-on RPG where I'm micromanaging each attack. It's kind of a relaxing time. Not the most, I wouldn't say it's the most exciting game, but it's an enjoyable one. It's a good leisure game for during the week, I think. Something that it feels like oddly something to chill out to with the body horror sci-fi themes. But here we are. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the stream. If you're watching after the fact, thank you for watching the recording. If you watch live, thank you so much for watching live. Hey, if you're on YouTube, if you can hit a subscribe or like on the stream, I'd appreciate it. It helps promote the channel a bit. If you're on Twitch, give it a follow. See what happens when we pop new streams up. Doing it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. Central. And we're covering retro games, mostly retro games. We'll be doing some sports games on a dedicated stream pretty soon. And even on the PC, we'll be doing some special Twitch-only ultra-wide gaming streams. Because YouTube doesn't support that, and Twitch deserves something special. So we'll be doing it on my main PC. So anyway, that's what we got going on. I'm Chris. This is NFGL Online and with NFGL Live. And appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. See you later. Metal Dungeon.